Tariffs seem to be all the rage these days. China not playing fair on trade? Tariffs. Lots of refugees coming into America from Mexico? Tariffs. So much so that the man behind these tariffs has given himself a name.
Up in the sky, it's a blimp, it's a president, it's Tariff Man, able to move markets.
So how do tariffs work? A tariff is like an entrance fee for goods to get into a country. You've got to pay it just to get past the gate. So when the US imposes a 25% tariff on, say, disk drives coming in from China, someone has to pay that tax on every disk drive. So who pays? President Trump seems to think that whoever sells the disk drive does the paying.
Our country can take in $120 billion a year in tariffs, paid for mostly by China, by the way.
Well, it is sometimes true that Chinese companies selling the disk drives will lower their prices a little to compensate for the tariffs. They don't want their US customers going elsewhere. But it's whoever buys the disk drives and ships them to America that really pays some, if not all, of the tariffs. So it could be an American electronics retailer like Best Buy that sells them in stores, an American company like General Electric that uses these disk drives in the products and services it sells, or just your average American family business run by Mr. and Mrs. Smith that just needs a lot of disk drives. Look, at some point, these American companies are going to have to pass on the higher costs to their customers. Like Walmart, it's already said it's going to raise prices because of the US tariffs.
We can make the product right here if we have to, like we used to.
According to President Trump, that's exactly what tariffs are meant to do. Make American shoppers buy made in USA instead of, say, made in China. Not so fast. A lot of these goods are just much cheaper to make in China. Producing them in America could cost more than the tariffs imposed. China has become the biggest customer for many US firms, like Boeing or Cadillac. So what hurts China will eventually hurt the US too. When people or countries come in to raid the great wealth of our nation, I want them to pay for the privilege of doing so. Sure, but wait a minute. Who's paying again?